Today, we're getting a fantastic early look at the absolute future of your smartphone. We're breaking down the newly leaked beta builds of Google's upcoming mobile OS, Android 17. Drawing from a recent breakdown by Cashify News, we've got a crystal clear picture of what's on the horizon, and honestly, it is pretty exciting.
Okay, let's dive right into this. What exactly is Google changing in your phone? Based on these latest beta leaks, this update isn't just about flashy new colors or a redesign. It's actually a highly anticipated mix of smart tools purposefully designed to make your device vastly more efficient. Google is taking a really hard look at usability, and we're going to unpack exactly how that translates into features you'll actually use every single day.
To make sure we cover all this ground efficiently, here is our roadmap. First, we'll look at smarter privacy and controls. Second, better multitasking and UX. Third, design and system refinements. And finally, the rollout timeline.
Starting off with Section 1, Smarter Privacy and Controls. This is all about taking back control of your personal data. One of the absolute biggest features coming to Android 17 is a native app lock. For years, we've had to rely on downloading clunky, ad-heavy third-party applications just to secure our banking apps, our photo galleries, or our private messages. Well, not anymore. Android 17 is finally going to allow you to secure individual apps directly from your home screen. It natively supports all your preferred security methods: PIN, password, pattern, and biometric unlock. It's a completely seamless, built-in way to hand your phone to a friend without, handing over your entire life.
And this next feature is a massive leap forward for privacy. Think about the old way. An app asks for your contacts, and you essentially have to hand over your entire address book permanently. No way around it. The Android 17 way introduces limited contact sharing. Instead of granting full blanket access, you can now choose specific, individual contacts to share with an app, and you can grant that access only temporarily. It puts you in the driver's seat, keeping your broader web of personal data way safer from unnecessary scraping.
Now, here's a change that is going to make a lot of longtime Android users breathe a huge sigh of relief. Separate toggles for Wi-Fi and mobile data have officially returned. In recent versions, Google combined these into an internet panel, which basically added an annoying extra tap every time you just wanted to quickly switch off Wi-Fi or turn on data. It was a major user complaint. Android 17 officially fixes this by bringing back the separate toggles right in your quick settings. It removes that frustrating extra step and makes network switching so much quicker.
All right, moving on to Section 2, better multitasking and UX. Let's talk about getting things done faster.
We have to talk about how this fundamentally changes our workflow. Upgraded floating app bubbles. Remember when bubbles were mostly restricted to just messaging apps so you could keep a chat open? Android 17 totally shatters that limitation. Now, literally any app can run in a small floating window. Imagine keeping a calculator floating over your spreadsheet or your travel itinerary floating over your Maps application. It makes it incredibly easy to juggle tasks without ever leaving your main screen. It's true desktop-level multitasking brought right to the palm of your hand.
And speaking of floating tools, the screen recording experience is also getting a much-needed refresh. Instead of fumbling through your notification shade while you're trying to record, Android 17 introduces a streamlined three-step process. First, you manage your recording settings via a dedicated floating control panel right on the screen. Second, the very moment you hit stop, you're greeted with an instant preview screen. And third, from that preview, you can immediately edit or share your clips. It takes all the friction out of capturing and sharing your on-screen content.
Let's move to Section 3. Design and system refinements. Here are a few rapid-fire enhancements.
These are some of the most notable quality-of-life updates coming down the pipeline. First up, mandatory large-screen app adaptability. As foldables and tablets get more popular, Google is ensuring apps actually look good on them, rather than just being lazily stretched-out phone apps. Next, for the minimalists out there, you finally get the option to hide app names on the home screen. You just see the icon, which creates a beautifully clean and uncluttered look. And finally, task continuity. This is a real game changer for cross-device productivity. It lets you start an app on your phone and seamlessly pick it right back up on your tablet, exactly where you left off.
Section 4, the rollout timeline. When can we actually expect Android 17? So, the crucial point is understanding how this whole release timeline works. Right now, we're in the beta builds phase. This is where developers and leakers are discovering all these exciting features. But keep in mind, not everything makes the final cut. However, the core updates, like those privacy controls and the multitasking upgrades we just covered, are expected to arrive in the stable release rollout likely around June 2026. That's when these features actually become a reality for everyday users.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. Will this update actually change how you use Android? Think about it. The native app locks keeping your data completely secure, the temporary contact sharing, the floating apps that let you multitask like a total pro, and the glorious return of those dedicated Wi-Fi toggles. Google is clearly pushing toward an experience that is far more flexible, highly secure, and deeply user-friendly. We really want to know what you think. Which of these leaked features is going to impact your daily phone routine the most? Keep an eye out for more updates as we get closer to that June 2026 release. And as always, stay curious.